The Rocket Review is sponsored by Why Not Saloon.
We're so honored to have back on the show certified guitar player, Kentucky Colonel, and Grammy Award winner as of last year, the one and only Tommy Emmanuel. Thanks for coming on, Tommy.
Hey, thanks for having me, brother.
Oh my gosh, it seems
Thank
like
you.
just yesterday we had you on the show.
Yeah, back when I had hair and teeth. It was a while ago.
You know, when we started doing these interviews together, both of our hair, they were a little darker.
It was a different color, but
Yeah.
that's life.
Yeah, and I see that, you know, having Grammys now, it's upgraded your wardrobe also.
Well, I wanted to bring some color and light into the studio.
Just like
here.
you did with your music. String Revolution last year, Grammy Award winning,
Yeah.
Folsom Prison Blues.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was such an incredible thing to happen. Janet, the lady who's the one of the main writers and everything in that little group, she rang me and she said, "We're going to be in Nashville. Is there any chance you'd play on this?" And I said, "Oh, sure." And I didn't think any more about it. And then, I was home for 2 days between tours, right? And I got home, my phone rang, and it was John Carter Cash, right? And he said, "Well, I've got the String Revolution people here, and they want to do one of my daddy's tunes." He said, "Can you come out and play the melody?" And I said, "Absolutely." So I went out to the Carter cabin, the Cash cabin, and I heard the arrangement. I thought it was really different and not what I expected. And I liked it. It was, you know, because I like quirky ideas, you know. And anyway, so they basically set up the mic, which is the mic that Johnny always used. And I played a 0028 pre-war.
Wow.
And it just suited the track. I did 2 passes and I played some licks against what was going on towards the end. And we took a couple of photos and I left. I was there less than an hour.
Yeah, and that gets you a Grammy.
And and next thing, 2 months later, but Brian, my manager, says, "You won't believe it. You got a nomination," you know. So, you know,
to kind of add all your Australian, you know, Grammys, which are the ARIAs, right?
The ARIAs, yeah, the Australian Recording Industry Awards. Yeah, hello Australia.
Which we got to talk about too. Your album that just came out this past March, live at the Sydney Opera House.
That's it.
Which, I mean, what an incredible album. I've been listening to this, Tommy, and it's like, I love the songs on here and the ones you chose, but to me it feels like kind of a coming home for you.
Absolutely. I mean, the Opera House is a big part of my life, and it was a place that I look to as, okay, I'm going to get there. I don't know how, but I'm going to get there, you know? And that, you know, a guy said to me when I was young, plugging away wins the day. And, you know, like, life is not going to be easy and everything is going to be tough, you know? But if you don't quit and keep going, you're going to get there. There's nothing sure.
But you started out playing, you know, at 6 years old, so 64 years touring and playing. Started out with your family band in a station wagon with your mom and dad and your brother going around and playing shows. And now you play the Grand Ole Opry, the Ryman, all of the major venues in the world, Tommy.
The only thing that's different is I don't have a station wagon now.
Exactly.
Now, it's a dream come true for a boy like me, you know. Just not only to play the Opera House, but to play the Ryman, you know, and to be on the Opry. I'm on the Opry tonight. But, you know, and how I got on the Opry was because of my hero, Chet Atkins. He said to me, "Have you ever been to the Opry?" And I said, "No." He said, "Good, because I'm taking you tonight." And he took me there, and we're standing at the side watching Ricky Skaggs and Kentucky Thunder. And the producer guy comes up, "Hey, Chet, good to see you." And Chet says, "This is my friend Tommy. He's from Australia, and you should have him on the show." And the guy looked at me and said, "Next Saturday?" And that's how I got on the Opry.
Oh my gosh! Well, it's just like whenever Chet took you to look at guitars and ended up buying it for you.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the one at George Gruen's.
Yes, but I love the Chet stories, and also with everything that you're playing with now too, though, Tommy. I was mentioning with Billy Strings and with Molly and all these other great artists, and you've
Sierra
got
Hull.
Sierra Hull,
one of my favorites.
Who also has a new album out.
Oh, she's unbelievable.
Yeah, and so you've got a Canadian tour, which obviously you're going to do this one without broken ribs.
Well, I'm going to try. We'll see.
You broke ribs last year and still played the shows.
I did. I thank God for painkillers. I got through another 5 shows.
Right.
And then I sneezed and the ribs broke that were fractured, and so I wasn't allowed to travel. And they said you can't fly like this, and so I had to stay with a dear friend of mine in Canada for 4 days, and then I flew back to Nashville and carefully got home. And the first thing I did when I got home was wrote a song.
Of course. How could you not?
It was nothing to do with crack ribs.
Right.
But anyway, it's been a long time healing, and I've nenever broken a bone in my life. So it was a whole different experience for a guy my age. And I kind of forgot when the doctor was showing me the x-rays and all that. He was like, this is going to take a while to heal because you're not 21. And I'm like, oh, that's right.
Yeah, and you kind of forget.
I forgot,
But speaking of 21, you're also going to be doing tours of Italy, and you're going to have your band camp again this October, which is always incredible. And you do camps all over the world, because you said you're doing one in Rome, and it's not Rome, Tennessee.
No, it's not, or Texas. It's Rome, Italy, and that's the 1st to the 4th of May.
Wow.
And then I've got this long flight: Rome, Zurich, Hong Kong, Sydney, to start the Australian tour.
You are amazing. Amazing. Yeah, and then back to the Australian tour, back home.
Yeah.
Although Nashville's your home now, too.
Nashville has been my home for the last 22 years. I'm a U.S. citizen. And,
yes, you are, which is incredible. And I wanted to bring up, too, is like you need to work, you're going to have to start working on the memoir. There needs to be a documentary on Tommy Emmanuel and all of the great things you've accomplished and all the people you helped, too, Tommy.
Yeah, and the 3 people who buy that will keep me.
I'm one of those. I'm one of those that will buy it.
Well,
I promise you.
Thanks for having me, brother.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I love the new album. Be sure and get your copy of it, too. Add it to your playlist. It's available on vinyl also. And not only is live at the Sydney Opera House great music and so many songs, including 1 or 2 dedicated to Phil, but also, look at that, with the artwork, pictures here, young Tommy, current Tommy.
Let me point out, this writing at the top here, it was done by my, she was 8 years old when she wrote that for me.
Wow.
She's now 10.
Oh my gosh.
Rachel's writing is on there.
That is so incredible. Well, be sure and get your own copy, add it to your playlist, but also go see Tommy Emmanuel live. There's going to be new music coming out at the end of the year, but right now, live at the Sydney Opera House, the one and only Tommy Emmanuel.
Thanks, brother.
Great to have you on.
Thank you. And thank you for tuning in. This is Eric Dow.
The Rocket Review is sponsored by Why Not Saloon.